Hi loves! Welcome back. It's time for another month of albums to talk about, and I'm gonna have to do this quickly because I'm in my parents' room and they might walk into me anytime soon. I needed a quiet place for me to do this voiceover, and I don't want to do another world tour around my house just like last time. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Here are my favorite albums of April 2021. Let's get it! So this is one of the many spring albums that I like this month. April is the month where everyone and their moms usually release spring releases, and I don't blame them. I mean, of all the seasonal releases of South Korea, spring releases are in fact my absolute favorite of the releases, just because the musical trends that they usually have during spring are the ones that are in line with my personal music taste, which is usually acoustic stuff or like chillhop, lo-fi hip-hop stuff, and that's my personal jam. I love them so much, so expect to hear more of those in this video because do we have a lot of those this month. So first and foremost is Our Spring Days by Han All. I have never heard of her before, but I just kind of stumbled upon this album on the Melon homepage, so I gave it a listen because it has the name Spring in the title, so you can't go wrong with that. And it's a very nice listen. I put it on at work and it definitely calms me down. It's a very nice calming acoustic album. It's an acoustic ballad album per se. Most of the songs are just very slow. So if you're not the person who are into slow songs, this might not be the album for you because it might be a bit, boring. But I don't know why. For some reason, I was in the mood for like slower songs because I needed something to calm me down. And during the springtime, I'm more in the mood for like just overall relaxing songs that just gives me the overall fuzzies and guitar sounds that make me feel a certain way, that makes me feel calming and relaxing. And this album definitely does the job. It doesn't offer anything much really. It's just a acoustic album, but I like it. I love her voice. I love this album. You can't go wrong with that. It's a formula that works and I like it. It's nothing much, but I like it. 'Cause I love it, 'cause I want it. Now, I only wanted to talk about 10 albums this month because, April is very scarce when it comes to album releases. Compared to March, where like everyone and their moms just releasing albums on the reg, April is suddenly the time where everyone is just like, nope, we're not going to release albums this month. We're just going to, not do that this month. And the album releases this month just magically halved that of March. So there's not a lot of material to work with here. So I only talk about 10, but I talk about 12 because I can't leave out the Han All album, and I certainly can't leave out this album, which is honestly the only reason why I want to put this album in, just so I can draw the comparison of Jin Hyuk's title track to this one Jay Chou song that I had stuck in my head since the song came out. This entire album reminds me of Ayo Buchoo era Jay Chou, where it's just like, party album wants to feel like melancholic or like wants to like feel something, but then the other half of the album just wants to have fun or just have some unabashed excitement and just want to be silly with it, and I dig it. Jin Hyuk's style of music is definitely chaotic good if I've ever seen it myself. I would say that his music is the purest form of chaotic good I've ever seen in life. He's the embodiment of chaotic good. I mean, he's an ENFJ, as according to Sing Stay 2. He has the same MBTI as Jaehwan, so I can't expect anything less energetic from him. And this album definitely is very energetic. And oh my goodness, I had this album on while I was running one day, and I felt a surge of energy within me. I had a good time listening to it. It's a very good running, jogging album. It's a good sports album, definitely. There's a handful of songs that are just fun. For example, Asteroid, which is a punk rock song. I don't know why, but for some reason now I want that punk rock album from Jinhyuk now. I was like, how hasn't he done a punk rock song yet? He definitely suits the concept well. So yeah, Jinhyuk, do you have a vault of punk rock songs like that? Because that could be your album concept for the next comeback. Like seriously, just consider that, my dude. And also there's other songs like Be Half Awake, which is a chillhop song that I absolutely like. I mean, you know, typical Spring Breeze liking her chillhop stuff. And also there's one song on the album called Hati Hati, which the Spring Breeze Malay word of the day is Hati Hati, my dudes. Hati Hati in Malay means be careful. And the song has motifs in there where he's like 조심해 or like be careful or something like that, and that made me feel happy because the fact that he used like a Malay word or like a or like something that is resembling a Malay word in the title of a song, I don't know, it just makes me feel happy. And it kind of links back to the one where I talked about last month about No Straight Roads, where they use like Malay influences in their music, like the Kebara and stuff like that. I think he's doing it the same here. It makes me feel so happy. I don't know why. Every time someone uses the Malay language, it just makes me so happy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like it. It might not be the most cohesive album, I would say, but you can tell that he had a good time with this album. I certainly had a good time with this. His mantra in musicality is just have a good time and don't care about what people say, and I like that for him. I would say that of all the Mamamoo solos, Wheein has my absolute favorite like style of music ever, because her style of music definitely like is in line with my personal taste in music, which is R&B, smooth, jazzy, chill hop stuff. And when she announced her comeback, I was like, yes, we're gonna get more of that, gonna get more smooth goodness, more jazzy stuff, and you're gonna get some of her sweet vocals, and this album definitely delivered. While towards the end of the album, it kind of felt like the album kind of lulled the pacing a little bit right there. I was like, it could have been a little bit more cohesive, but the first half of the album definitely made me feel alive. It definitely has that essence of Wheein that she's trying to go for in terms of like pure R&B, jazz, and stuff like that. Especially songs like her title Watercolor and Trash featuring PH1. Trash especially, my jam. I love Trash so much. Please don't take that out of context, you guys. But yeah, I would say a spectacular comeback from Wheein. This is definitely her style of music. She's definitely in her element this comeback. You can definitely feel that she's had a good time with this, she had fun with this, and she really enjoys making this kind of music, and I really couldn't be happier for her. More R&B Wheein is what I want in life, please. Another spring album. So Chayuri is the artist that I found out from this friend over here. She included her in one of her monthly favorites videos, so I checked her stuff out, and I would say that she's definitely your friendly neighborhood acoustic girl, you know, just hanging around in her front yard with a guitar in her hand and just being wholesome and stuff like that. Her winter album is, well, it's actually kind of decent. It's not something that I will personally revisit, especially since that we don't even have winter here, so I can't really feel the winter vibes that much. But this album I can definitely get into a lot more because, again, it's a spring album. I love my spring stuff, and the acoustic sounds in the album is definitely more just jumpier and more wholesome and bouncier and just warm and fuzzy and all that good stuff, you know. I especially love the first and last songs on the album. Those definitely got my attention, and by the end of the album I felt really happy, you know. I just felt happy inside. And again, this is the album that I put on at work to get by work, and it definitely made work go along a bit smoother, you know. Just acoustic stuff made me feel so happy. I don't need to explain a lot further. I think that this album definitely serves its duty of being just a wholesome, just overall nice acoustic album, and you can't fault her for that. Oh my goodness, I was waiting for his return for quite a bit actually. Actually, when he dropped his album Dry Flower, I was like pretty surprised because I haven't listened to Tanamico in a hot minute right there. I forgot when's the last time I listened to him. Probably Fancy Child's Why, but that's about. And I think I might have listened to him on like featurings here and there, especially on Chong Se-woon and Park Ji-hoon's albums. But as far as solo material goes, I haven't listened to his solo stuff in a while. So Dry Flower is definitely a good place for me to pick back up and start listening to stuff again. And I think he definitely does the job with this one. The pacing of this album definitely could be a little bit better. Especially the third out of the album, it got a bit slightly lulling by the end. It got a bit. I almost got a bit lulling towards the end, but Insomnia really just perked me back up, and it's a good way to end the album. I think from track 7 to 9 is where it gets a little bit lulling a little bit, but the first half of the album definitely is my favorite part of the album. I liked how chill it is, how slightly upbeat it is, you know, and it definitely has a sort of very cityscape pacing, the kind of vibe that is a similar vibe to Yukika's Soul Lady album, where it's like bustling nighttime cityscapes, that kind of vibe, where it's everything is bright and billboards illuminating the buildings and everyone is going about the night doing stuff in the city, and you are in the middle of the city just looking for love and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this might have been the Soul Lady's more R&B older brother. So if you guys like something that has the similar DNA as Soul Lady, I recommend this album a lot. And I'm just Now this dude, I knew about this dude because Kang Daniel collaborated with him on Movie, which is ultimately still my absolute favorite Daniel song ever, and I loved his voice on that song. So when I saw that he released his album of his own, I was like, okay, let's see what this dude can offer. And I wasn't disappointed at all. The album definitely gives you a very calming feeling, but not in a way that makes you feel at ease, but it definitely gives you a feeling of, I feel calm, but like, at what cost? Like, I feel calm, but like there's something weird, you know? I felt something weird in front of me. It's not like your typical chillhop album or like your typical R&B album. There is an element of like darkness and an element of like, you never know the things that go bump in the night, that kind of feeling, you know what I mean? Like, you're listening to this album in the basement of your house, and then you feel at ease, but then suddenly the wind comes in, and then it almost knocked a container over, and it almost fell to the floor. Like, the container shifted, and you felt a surge of uneasiness. You know what I mean? Definitely, this album feels has that kind of vibe to it, especially in tracks like the opening song Dot, as well as Humming and Hostel. These few songs definitely gives you a feeling of uneasiness in the face of comfort. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain this in a way that makes the most sense, but let's just say that if you guys want something that is not your typical chill R&B album, definitely do give this one a fair shake. This one has some teeth in it. There's a kind of very interesting element within this album that I can't really put my finger on it, but it definitely makes it more nuanced than its peers, for sure. Miss Yukika is back! The queen of city pop is back! I love Yukika very, very much. She has a very consistent sound in her repertoire, and I'm really happy that she's able to continue her sound and try to hone her identity as a city pop musician. It's her thing, and she knows how to do it very well. She has the voice for it, and she has the attitude for it. Her voice is definitely very delicate and wistful and full of emotion and yearning energies, that kind of longing for the past, for your lover, that kind of voice. She has the kind of emotion that really knows how to pull this concept off. And Time About is definitely a step in the direction for the next chapter of her career, where she establishes a sort of lore into her concept about going to the past and doing stuff in the past. I'm not so sure, but like definitely she explores something deeper in this album, where she goes back to the past and tries to talk to her older self about how it's okay for her to be more confident, stuff like that. She talks about the past and talks about her youth in a way that feels very nostalgic, and it makes you feel like you're on this journey with her to exploring all kinds of stuff that she is exploring herself. And I really, really like that I'm able to join her on this journey with her. So if you guys want something that is very nostalgic, and I mean, it's Yukika, she knows how to provide this nostalgic feeling, you know what I mean? I mean, this woman can do anything. Go stand Yukika, go listen to her. That's all I have to say. She's very good at what she does, clearly, with her city pop sounds, but also, yeah, she explores more disco sounds in songs like Secret, but also more brighter, perkier sounds like in Ewol and Pong, which I really, really adore. It's definitely a slightly different approach than her last album, which is Soul Lady, which is more yearnful and more like Lovers in the Night kind of scenario. This one just feels more upbeat, like youthful, that kind of stuff. Like you're really excited to go on an adventure. Slightly, it's like a opening songs to like an opening act of a movie, like a romance movie, that kind of stuff. So yeah, while Soul Lady feels like the overall feeling of being lost in the city looking for your lover, this one just feels like the opening songs to a romance movie, and I really, really like those vibes.
좀 더 영원한 걸 원해.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you guys are thinking. Yasmin, we knew you like this album. I don't know how many people actually listen to this album, and I certainly don't know how many people will actually listen to this album and think, man, this is the kind of album that Spring Breeze likes, huh? And yeah, you would be right, because I absolutely like this album. If it's getting predictable at this point with these videos that chill hop album or lo-fi hip hop album automatically will make it into these videos. I think you guys are seeing some kind of formula right now. I don't know. Am I that easy to impress with these lo-fi hip hop albums? I might have been I might have been too easy to impress, to be honest. But yeah, Keegan, he's back with what perhaps is a mostly instrumental album of sorts, but that's what I love about lo-fi hip-hop and chill hop in general, is that you don't even need to have words, yet you can still somehow convey some kind of feeling just by the melody itself. Like you're able to immerse yourself in the melody at the moment, and you can feel all kinds of emotions, like emotions of calamity and adventure and discovery, that kind of stuff. And this album definitely encapsulates everything I love about chill hop and lo-fi hip-hop in general. There's this very good video that I watched about the storytelling of chill hop songs. I really recommend you guys to go watch it. I'll link that video down below. It's a very good video talking about how chill hop songs establish storytelling without even using lyrics or songwriting or even just words at all. And it's a very, very good album, and I definitely recommend you guys to watch it if you guys want to understand why these kinds of musics work, and also definitely take a sneak peek into my little brain box right here, my little noggin right here. Why do I like this kind of stuff so much? But yeah, this album definitely is like an adventure down the forest. You know, you're going down the bridge, you're seeing the waterfalls and like the villages next to you. People are having fun in there. People are playing with fireworks in there. You hear the birds chirping. You hear animals. You also hear like the gusts of wind and a little bit of rain here and there. And it just makes for a really amazing concept storytelling album where you're just going on a journey with Keegan down the hills and stuff like that. Okay, before I end this gushing, I want to ask my audience here, is this an instrumental album? Because one of the songs I swear I've listened to before, it was in my February favorites video, and that one has lyrics, so I want to ask, is this an instrumental compilation album? Because I have a feeling that it might be, but I have no idea about this album. So if anyone in the comment section, please let me know if this album is an instrumental compilation album of his past songs, just in instrumental format. Please let me know, because I have a hunch that it might be, but I'm not so sure. Another person who is back, Verbal Gent. Dang, this month is really a good month for like all these like some of my absolute favorite Korean hip hop acts, huh? Like Keegan is back, Panomeko. Yeah, it's a really good month overall for hip hop music, huh? But yeah, Verbal Gent is back. I absolutely love his worldview in music. He definitely has like more insightful approach in hip-hop music, which I absolutely like about what I like about his musical style in general. And this album definitely felt like his an extension to his thoughts and ideologies in music. And I definitely talks more about his personal life. I think he also talks about the stuff that he has gone through in life and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a very in-depth look into his like worldview. Just like a little diary entry, you know. You're listening to his biography, or like you're listening to him telling stories about his life, and that's what I like about this album. It's like listening to your father or like your grandfather telling stories about their youth. Like you're sitting beside them at like the riverside while you're fishing, or like you're doing something in the riverside while your dad or your grandfather is telling you, oh, back in the old days I used to be a best fisher in the entire village, something like that. Definitely it feels like someone's telling some stories about life and giving life lessons along the way. Album definitely feels like it, while still maintaining that sort of very chill, vibey hip-hop music that Rebel Jin is known to do so well. I think that if you guys really appreciate chill hip-hop vibes, definitely go give this a listen. He also have a very like cool guest listing in there. I don't really know most of the guest listing in there, but Justice is in the track listing, Big Naughty is in there, I think Weinstein is in the track listing. Let me check. Oh no, wait, he has an instrumental album out? I didn't know that. Okay, so we have Justice, Lil Boy, Super B, Big Naughty, you know, just the cool people, you know. And then Mommy's son is in the track listing. Dang, good for him. But yeah, I don't really know some of the people in the track listing, but they really add an extra element to this album that I really adore and admire. And definitely they also added on to his style of chill hip-hop music. So yeah, I really appreciate this album a lot. Welcome back, Rebel Jin. Congratulations on this amazing release. And yeah, wonderful storytelling. I love it. Okay, I may not be the biggest fan of Astro's discography. I might have only liked like a couple of albums out of their repertoire. This one definitely is my absolute favorite in their discography. to date. My favorite album before this came out was Dream Part 1 because I like how consistent it is. The other albums definitely didn't really live up to that similar standards, there's a varying level of standards with the rest of the albums that never really made me click fully with them. But when this album came out, I was immensely blown away by the level of consistency and quality that this album has maintained from start to finish. It was so good. It was really, really easy to listen to. Fantastic, wonderful, everything between. Astro really has cracked the formula for how to make a consistent pop record true and true. It might have been my absolute favorite idol pop album release of the month, really, which is surprising because Astro's previous albums never really clicked with me fully, but this one instantly clicked with me because there's a vibrancy within their pop music that I absolutely really, really adore. The members get to display their talents fully, and I really adore the kind of energy that is consistent within the albums. And like the track listing of the album is also the best that I've ever heard in idol pop albums this year, where it's like you have your very upbeat songs at the beginning and then it just transitions into slower songs towards the end. It's just a consistent and very well-paced album, true and true, which I absolutely applaud Astro for their efforts. I love the pop songs in the middle of the album, especially from track 4 to track 7. Those songs are actually good, especially songs like All Good and All Stars. These two songs are such high-level energetic songs that Astro has put out that really is highlight some of the best that they can offer. Absolutely amazing. Wonderful job from Astro. I also really like how they ended the album off with like slower songs in the end, like from track 8 to track 10. These 3 songs definitely tie everything together in just a nice little bow. When Astro does like slower ballad songs, they just punch you in the gut like so hard, which is part of the reason why I like Dream Part 1 so much, is that their slower songs very much just rip my heart out or like rip my eyeballs out. Like, guys, take my eyeballs already. Please, you guys made me cry. And this album really couldn't have come at a better time because I know Astro has recently gained an influx of new fans because of Unu's appearance in True Beauty, which couldn't have come at a better time. They released their best pop record to date and they gained so many new fans who are into their music. And yeah, this is an amazing era overall for Astro. Wonderful job. Congratulations on all of your achievements this month, Astro. I really can't wait to see you guys rise even more. And yeah, here's to more good music and more success in the future. I hope they prosper as a group. And yeah, I'm happy for them. Miss Wendy snapped hard. She came and gave us an album. She ate and left no crumbs. Yes, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. Wendy is back. Wendy is back, guys. Wendy is back. Yes. So after a long hiatus of Wendy recovering from her injury from 2019, Wendy is back to grace us with her beautiful voice and another beautiful album, which track for track has some of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. My goodness, all the songs are just so beautiful. They sound like poetry and they sound like music, like very elegant music. I love it so much. And the thing that sells this album for me is Wendy's powerful vocals that just propels the album forward. The amount of emotion she injects, the kind of energy that she adds onto this album, the kind of yearning and sentiment and beautiful emotion and everything about this album is so good. God damn it. I love it so much. It honestly, the most beautiful comeback ever. If art was music, if a museum was some music, it would have been this album. I love this album so much that I went to buy the physical copy of the album because everything about this album is just so appealing, from the visual aspect to the auditory aspect to the concept, and just everything about this album just flows well like water. Get it? But yeah, it just flows like a river, you know. You have your slower, more theatrical, sentimental songs like When This Rain Stops and like Water, to Why Can't You Love Me, which again, chillhop song, love it. I will eat up every chillhop song you throw at me. Dang it. And Best Friend. Best Friend really got me hard. She got Sogi on this album. We stand besties, okay? And yeah, I'm not so sure how good this makes as a running album, but I put this album on while jogging because I haven't listened to it yet, so I might as well just put it on while jogging. And I had to stop midway to absorb the sheer amount of emotion that this album is providing me. I might as well just stop roadside and just break down in tears halfway, because honestly, that's how emotional this album is. My goodness. Everything about this album works so well. The kind of emotion that Wendy injects is just powerful, and that's a grand return from the main vocalist of Red Velvet. Wonderful return. I miss you, Wendy. We all missed you, Wendy. Thank you for gracing us with this album. We love you. Thank you for the gift. It was amazing. Now, I'm not so sure how excited I was for this release until I saw the announcement on Kid Millie's Instagram, where he was like, hey guys, I'm dropping a new album with this producer, or I assume that's the producer, but I'm not so sure if it's like a guest rapper, like a producer or whatever. I'm assuming it's a producer, but hey guys, I'm dropping this collaboration album with this producer. Hope you guys anticipate. You know, producer collaboration albums with K-hip-hop artists is a tale as old as time. I've seen plenty of those in my lifetime, especially Lila Mars and his multiple collaborations with Goosebumps and stuff like that. And also there's this album with DJ Wigan and J Park. You know, these kinds of collaboration albums with producers and K-hip artists are just a tale as old as time, as they say. So when I saw this release, happiness just gushed over my entire system. For what? I have no idea, but I was so excited for this release. And I think because I liked his release for Face and Mask in February, where he also collaborated with Dress. So the fact that he's getting a full album with this producer is making me so happy, because Face and Mask is really, really good. So I cannot imagine how good an album of that style would be. And it delivered so hard. I instantly have it as one of my absolute favorite albums of this month, for sure, because each of the tracks in the album is just so... It's just like the down album from earlier, where it's like it's very chill, but at the same time it definitely has like a uneasy feeling to it. This one has a sort of a twilight feeling to it, the kind of evening, almost at the brink of nighttime kind of vibe to it, which definitely works well to put this album on at night, to be honest, because I absolutely like the vibes of this. The moment the first song hits, I was like, yep, this is a very different kind of album. And I'm not so sure if I ever liked the last Kid Millie album, because I might have thought it was kind of meh. But this album I definitely can get behind, because yeah, this is definitely something that I really wish that Kid Millie can really expand on in his future releases more. I love the myriad of soundscapes he's introduced in this album. For example, like there's a slight retro twist to it. There's also some slight flourishes of chill hop, R&B, jazz. I might have also heard some traditional musical elements in it, but I'm not so sure. There's also some ballads in there, and overall this is just a really unique hip-hop album, and it might have been my absolute favorite album of the month, really. It's just so good. And also, I'm not so sure about why he decided to put the intro in the middle of the album. Like, that really threw me off a bit. Like, dude, you could have just called it an interlude, but why? Why you gotta mess with my mind like that? But otherwise, what a fantastic album this is. I love everything about this album. It's... wow, Kid Millie, well played. This is an amazing album. I love it. I would very much be happy to revisit this again. It's just a solid hip-hop effort, true and true, with lots of nuanced and intricate details with it that I just really can't help but notice it every time I listen to stuff like this. And there's this sort of very like mysterious twang to it as well, which I also really adore. Fantastic album, true and true. Wonderful job. And it could even be the number one album of the month had these albums not exist this month. They did it for me, honestly. They really did it for me. Oh my god, Yasmin, 101 is no longer here. Why are you still talking about the 101 agenda? And that is wrong. That is so wrong. You can't just say mean things to people for the sake of being mean. Like, Yasmin, let me out! Yasmin, please let me out! See, this is the reason why you need to do your research, kids.